Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today, I'm going to be making my usual 5x7 card, and I'm going to be making a school bus driver appreciation cards. That's the time of year for it. I recently purchased this design from Divinity Designs. It's school bus driver J776, and it's these adorable little stamps. And this is pretty much what I'm using today. We're just going to be doing some stamping, some coloring, and putting together a card. My normal 5x7, this piece of white cardstock measures 10 inches by 7 inches. I score it at the 5-inch line, fold it over and crease it with my bone folder, scissors, or you can even use your fingernails if you don't have anything. I will be using this bright yellow cardstock. You can choose, if you have this set or anything similar and want to make a school bus driver card, just use the colors of your school buses. Ours happen to be the traditional yellow and black. This piece measures, pardon me, 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, and that's my typical size. Then I have a piece of this black, well, it's got fuzzies all over it, black metallic cardstock. It's a thin cardstock, and I got this at Joann Fabrics years ago in a pad of paper of different colored metallics. This measures 6 5/16 by 4 5/16. Simply because I want to have a little bit of a wider yellow border on this card. And then my inside white cardstock is also different measurements today. This is 6 3/16 by 4 1/8, because I want the black to only be a narrow border. And that's how the card's going to get put together. Going to do some coloring and some stamping. So let's get started by putting down our two card layers, because this metallic will need a little extra time to have some drying time. Now, if you were going to cut out sentiments from either yellow or the black, you could go ahead and cut them out now so that you wouldn't waste all this cardstock. I don't have anything I have planned to cut out of this bright yellow or black metallic. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them on the card. Just kind of get it as straight as possible. And then I'm going to set this aside with my acrylic stamping plat. It used to be an old acrylic stamping block when we did them by hand. And I use that now as my platform to hold things down to dry. All right, now we can actually start stamping. And on this piece, I'm going to make a horizontal card. And I'm just going to set that there. I want to use the school bus first, so let's get that down and then we'll see how everything else looks. And I kind of want to have it up on the card. Now you can use your waffle flower grip mat in your MISTI. Oh, that bus looks crooked just from sitting there. So we'll do a test stamp before I do it. You just need to be careful that you're not putting too much pressure where your hinges might pop up. But I have used it quite often for raised red rubber, or in this case, purple rubber stamps. It doesn't really matter as long as you're very careful. Now I'm going to put some acetate down and make sure that I have my school bus straight, because I have a feeling it's not. It needs to go a little bit that way. So I'm going to wipe this off, and I've got an old wet wipe here. I'm going to, old paper towel. Just going to wipe this off. I'll clean it off again here in a minute. I just want to check placement. Oh, that's even more crooked. Okay, it needs to come down a little bit on the driver's side, just a hair. Okay. Oh, nope, I'm just going backwards with this one. All right. That's why it's a good idea to have the acetate down. So you can, well, there we go. All right. So now I'll clean off my acetate with some water and my rag. And then it's good to go for the next time. But I think back to the times when I pretty much stopped stamping because every time I stamped, it was crooked, not straight. You didn't get a clear impression. And with this kind of a stamp, you really can't tell until you stamp it. I love the Misty stamping platform, and I love the waffle flower grip mat in there. And let's just get that bust stamp straight down on my card. There we go. All right. Clean the stamp off with a little bit of water. And I just use an old washcloth or a dishcloth, anything that you have that is pretty much lint-free and can give a good scrub. Now, I do want to stamp my words on here. Let's see. And I think thank you for going the extra mile. Okay, so here's the thank you and for going the extra mile. Let's move that up a hair. Now I'll need my acetate again to make sure I have my words straight. And you could have stamped these both at once, but I wanted to just concentrate on getting one straight with the school bus. So let's see how these look now. You know, that's actually very good. I'm pleasantly surprised. Pardon me. Okay, so let's stamp that down. There we go. That looks good. It always amazes me when things work out the first time. A pleasant surprise. All right. I'm done with the stamps for now. Again, this set is Divinity Design School Bus Driver. And we're done stamping. All we need to do is color and add some bling. Now, I'm going to use a piece of scratch paper underneath my coloring. And this is just old copy paper that was given to me. It had been water damaged and it does not go through printers anymore. Okay, now I'm using alcohol ink markers. I love my Ohuhu markers. However, they don't have a good selection of yellows. So I picked up my old Spectrum Noir markers, and I'm using a CT4 and GB3. I can't remember what color is which, so let's see. Okay, so this one, the CT4, is going to be the color of the bus. And I've been using the VersaFine Clair Nocturine ink to stamp with because it works well with alcohol ink markers. And since I've been trying to improve my coloring skills, this makes a great ink to use. Now, I'm not using alcohol ink for all of this. I have a silver gel pen that I'm also going to put on here for the accent pieces. But just if you have this stamper, a similar one, just use the colors of your school bus company. I have seen some in a bright lime green, but around here we just have the traditional yellow and black. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of coloring on this stamp. Now, I don't know if they make a die set for this stamp set. I didn't feel that I would ever use this, that I would cut it out. I would just stamp it down straight like I did. So that is maybe a possibility if you use this stamp, that maybe they have the die cut. Now I'm just using a darker yellow on the hood of the bust just to give it a little accent. And then I'm going to just give a little highlight to the rounded areas of the bust to give it some shadowing. That looks pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'll add any more. Oh, maybe a little bit down here. Just make that a little wider. All right, now for the stop sign, I have my Ohuhu marker, R872 Tomato. This is my favorite red. This is an actual true red. Whereas some of the other colors are various shades of red. But this one gives me the true red color that I'm wanting. So I did the stop sign in red, and I'm going to do 2 of the lights in red. And oh, I think some of those bus lights are also yellow, so let's try it in the darker color. Yes, because they have yellow and red flashing lights. Okay, now I've chosen 2 colors of gray in my Ohuhu, CG022 and CG070. These are both called neutral gray. I'm going to do the lighter color gray for the back of their side view mirrors and the fender. And the, oh, what do you call that on a car? On a train, you call it the cow catcher. This part. The grill. There we go. Took me a moment to think. Okay. Oh, and we have these little side mirrors here. There. And now for the wheels and the steering wheel, I'm using the darker shade. You could use black, but I would think that black would cover up, in fact, I know it would cover up the black outline that we stamped on here. Okay. And then I have a Uniball. It's a silver gel pen that I'm going to do the pieces that attach the mirrors to the bus. And just some highlights on the fender. Now, I'm going to leave these other parts plain because on our buses, these are white. So I'm just taking my Wink of Stella and going over that to add a little bit of glitter and shine to those areas. Okay, because on this, like if you knew your bus number, you could write on there what your bus number was. And that's that. Now I did pull out this black mirrored washi tape that I kind of thought I want to put at the base of the bus wheels. So let's get that on the card and then decide if I truly want to add that. I think I do. My mind's telling me I do. Now I'm going to just glue this down flat, and I got a little ink smudge up here somehow. So I'm going to use my Mono Sand Eraser, which takes off ink. So let's glue this down. Oh. There we go. There, just like that. I'm going to use the side of my hand in case the ink is on my fingertips, because I keep finding smudges, and I think it is. So let me just get a wet one here real quick. As I said, my fingertips have a permanent ink stain on them now. Okay, and let's get that washi tape out again to see if I do want to. And I think I do. Yes, I believe I do. So I'm just going to cut off a little bit, and then I'll trim it down to the right size. Try and get this on straight without getting my head in the camera. Yeah, that adds just a little, even though it's not the same color black as the background, I think it adds just a little extra oomph to it. Now, I did bring over some gemstones. I brought them in clear, but I also had these gold, and I'm thinking the gold will work just fine. I have them, I'll use them. So I'm going to put, I want to put 3 down here. Get out my angled tweezers. And move that one a smidge over. Now, let's see if I want any extra places. No, you know what? I'm going to stop at just 3. So that's our card for today. For our school bus driver appreciation. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.